Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signore. We are live. We're always here around 1 or 2 o'clock, depending when we get to the stories that matter. And I'm so happy to be here with Steph the Alternate. We've been talking about last night's drunken live stream. Oh my God. So much fun to all you guys who tuned in. Thank you. If you missed it, we had to make it members only because it got a little crazy. Right, Steph? A little, but fun. A fun crazy. Some of you may not be into it, but some of you may, in which case, hit that join button. You can go check it out. But I want to get to this. I'm so glad you're here, Steph, because I want to talk about Andrew, as we call him here. Just, I guess, we'll call him the first name. My name. It's frustrating to be associated with this guy. But he's one of your princes, Steph, okay? And
yes.
He just filed some new paperwork denying everything and blaming Miss Virginia as if it was all her fault, which is just weird because you deny it, but then you're going to blame her? Like, how is he allowed to have it both ways like this? You know what I mean? What are you blaming her for? As if she did wrong. Oh, but I didn't do anything wrong, but she did. I'm innocent, guys. The other thing I want to say, Steph, I feel like after going through this, we have to rewatch his interview. Was it with the BBC? Who did he do that with?
It was BBC Newsnight.
Guys, I've seen parts of it, but the parts I saw, I'm like, I got to rewatch this with you guys. I know it's like an old story, but I feel like it's worth, back me up, Steph, I feel like it's worth rewatching now as more has unfolded and more that he's now denying. It'd be very interesting to rewatch his reactions then as almost a testimony to see if it looks like he's lying even more. So I think tomorrow during our live show, stay tuned. I suspect, unless something else breaks, join us tomorrow around 1 o'clock, 1:30, as we will go through and rewatch the full Prince Andrew BBC News interview. Guys, if you've never seen it, you're not going to miss it. It's going to be a lot funner with our commentary, I suspect. So join us tomorrow as we go through that. Steph, you remember the interview. I mean, it was a turning point for a lot of people. Do you think watching it now might even bring some more like, oh, wow, yeah, he's really lying?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys want to watch us lose a few more brain cells, having to get our eyeballs on this interview, yes, join us tomorrow for, the fun of Andrew and the Newsnight interview. Oh my goodness. It definitely was a turning point when it was broadcast initially, because a lot of us were like umming and ahhing, thinking, well, hang on a minute, like, you know, really, like it just unthinkable of a member of the royal family to do that. However, then he did the interview. And he did the interview to defend himself and make himself more amenable, agreeable, likable in the public eye. Did the exact opposite, guys. So when we watch it tomorrow, if you don't know, you'll find out why. You will find out why. You'll get Andy's commentary. You will get my commentary from a British UK represent standpoint. Yeah, dude is screwed.
It's gonna be fun.
Dude is screwed.
I see some of you like, oh God, I don't want to watch it again, but we'll make it worth your while. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah. So get ready for some full-on cringe tomorrow. But let's get to this new information here. As this new 5 bombshells, Steph, from the legal papers, as he denies all allegations. Now, I'm not gonna have this on screen because there's definitely some keywords there that might get us in trouble. So I'm gonna try and work through this, but. So Andrew's legal team filed these documents today as part of the case against him by Virginia. And that her claims say, she was, had to do not okay things. I just can't even say something. I wish I could be more clear, but I can't say certain words on this platform without getting boom. And so, really bad claims that she's making about Andrew. Now, he's denying all allegations, and he filed documents today, which I believe is standard, Steph. But as you go through these documents and what he's really just owning now, first he's denying he was close friends with guilty Maxwell.
Maxie.
He admits to befriending Jeffrey, but denied he was ever a close pal of guilty Maxwell. again, we need to rewatch the interview because it makes no sense given some of the backstory and timelines that he's pressed on in that interview. But now he's claiming, no, I wasn't a close friend. It's a lot of semantics with Andrew, I feel like, Steph, or what is it? It's like Clinton, like sexual relations. Like, what's a close friend? He's going to really argue, well, were we friends? Sure, but we weren't close friends, where it's like, what's the difference? You're palling around with someone that you shouldn't be palling around with, okay? Doesn't matter the level of closeness. This whole idea that he's now going to just deny, like, well, I wasn't even close friends, is his excuse. Is this sitting well with you?
Nah. No. I smell a lot of cowpat, a lot of doo-doo, a lot of BS with that, because Hefe and MaxiPad went hand in hand. You didn't have one without the other. She was, his right-hand man, Maxwell to Hefe kind of situation. So, if Andrew is close friends with the Hefe, he's close friends with the MaxiPad, especially when there's pictures of MaxiPad and Hefe in the Queen's own private home, private lodgings in the UK. You do not get into the Queen's private lodgings, her private homes, not the public ones, the private homes, without having some serious frick-off connections. They were both close, both of them close, because if it was just Hefe that was close to Andrew and not MaxiPad, then Hefe would certainly be at the Queen's personal lodgings and be photographed there, but MaxiPad wouldn't be. Tell you that now. So, no, I'm calling BS on that.
Yeah, I mean, this photo is so guilty. It's like he talks about this photo in the interview. Again, why I want to rewatch the interview, you guys, so we're on the same page. But come on, dude. She was just in a photo. I don't even remember why I was there in this photo. I'm not close friends with her. Okay, whatever, dude. So that's the first thing revealed. He was not a frequent guest in Jeffy's homes. What's interesting is all these things he's denying. But I'm hoping and imagining that the case will be able to bring back evidence. Be like, well, then why were you there? Just like the interview sort of does, Steph. Well, why were you there this many times? Well, I wasn't a frequent guest. Again, everything he's arguing is semantics. He was a guest in clearly his homes, but he wasn't a frequent guest. See how he's doing here? Wasn't a frequent guest. It was not true as a frequent guest of various homes, even though I have been to all those homes, but I was not free. I've been to homes more than once, but I'm not a frequent guest. So therefore, guys, come on, you're telling this isn't true. And then he claims here that Virginia and or others may have been responsible for their own ABUSC. So again, hard to read this part, Steph, but his lawyers are stating, assuming without admitting that Virginia suffered any of these damages, Virginia and or others who are not the Andrew contributed in whole or part to the alleged damage. Andrew's legal team also lists the consent and the doctrine of unclean hands, which is an allegation that she acted unethically related to the things among his defenses. Virginia's alleged causes of action are barred in whole or in part by her own wrongful conduct. So, she's the age she is, Steph, which, makes things a lot more complicated for Andrew. But, it was her fault, right, Steph? This seems like a good argument he's putting out there. Does this boil your blood like it boils mine?
Yes. And I'm going to leave it at that. Otherwise, YouTube's going to take down this stream.
Noted. But yes, this is a blaming mentality of just like to the grossest degree. You want to lie and say you didn't do it, okay? But to then try and twist it, which is what apparently he's gonna do. He's the other story. The whole plan here is to paint her as the bad guy. She was the one who was setting it up and bringing other people over and all this stuff. So that is his only out here based on his legal team of we got to paint her as she deserved it. She was part of it, whatever the language that they're going to try and spin it. So get prepared because it's going to get pretty damn ugly. So, all right, continuing the bombshells. He now is demanding, Steph, a jury trial. So no settlement, which this goes against what I read. I thought I had the document here from the headline group, but that there are rumors, Steph. In fact, let me open it up here. There were rumors that, I think they were rumors or not. Hold on. That they were trying to push him just to a settlement to try to avoid the trial. And here it is. This is because
so the royal family wanted him to settle.
Yeah, he's
trying to avoid
witness.
the trial.
They want him to settle. And I don't want to do his trial. And so they are now. He's basically going against the royals. It seems here with this demand for a jury trial, which would potentially put him on witness. And therefore make this more elongated, everything else. Are you surprised by this?
I'm not surprised by this. However, I think there's another potential kind of rationale as to why this is all happening, why the settlement hasn't taken place. V, I'll call her V herself, the person that's alleging this, has turned around publicly, either her or her solicitors, and said, we ain't settling, we're going to court. We're settling, we're going to court because we want to make an example here that people reaching for powerful men, no matter who you are, you're going to get done. We're going to get you. So it's either spin on her end that we believe that she's not going to settle, she's going to go to court, she's going to do this battle, David versus Goliath kind of thing. Or it's spin on his end where he's turning around and saying, no, I want my day in court, I want a jury trial, I want to prove my innocence, and guess what? I've gone against my own family who want me to settle, but I'm not going to settle because I want it to go to court. So, well, obviously one of them's lying in terms of how the settlement hasn't come about. Who is? I don't know. However, if I was to hazard a guess, I would say Prince Andrew. Because if V was in the, let's say, mood to settle and was agreeable to that, Prince Andrew would settle this all day freaking long. All day long. So, yeah. My thoughts there for that.
I mean, but do you what is your thought here? Do you think the royals wanted him to just settle it, to sort of get it out of the way? Is that, would a settlement
of course,
yeah,
I mean,
of course. Do you think a settlement would be better for the royals to sort of just like push him away?
Yeah.
He settled it. It's over with. It's done with. And that's it's done.
Well, absolutely, because the Jubilee coming up for the Queen this year is now going to be completely overshadowed by the fact that there's a trial in September. It's going to overshadow absolutely everything in terms of what the royal family is going to do this year for Queen and her Jubilee.
Do you think there's is there a part of him that's sort of just like being a dick where he's like, you pushed me out, you took my titles, well, I don't care anymore. I have to defend my innocence to sort of earn my way back in. Do you think there's a stubbornness there of his ego that just he's going to try to prove that? Well, then why wouldn't he just settle?
No. This is my suspicion. He wants to settle, but V's turning around and saying, hell no, I want it to go to court. This article that we're reading here saying, no, Andrew doesn't want to settle, even though the royals are trying to push him to settle. He don't want to settle. He wants his day in court. He wants a jury trial. That's spin from his camp.
I see. Yeah,
because that's what I was trying to explain earlier on. If there was a chance that V would turn around and say, "I'll settle for X amount," Prince Andrew would jump on that all day long, and the royal family.
Fair enough, I agree. But because she's out there pretty vocal, saying, "I'm not going to settle," which she shouldn't. I think she's in a better position to not settle, to see this through.
Yes, he's trying to save face and spin it now in terms of this article, saying, "Well, the royal family want me to settle," which, yes, of course they do. But I'm going against them because I want my day in court. I want a trial jury and I want to prove my innocence amongst my quote unquote peers, if you can say peers when you're fucking Prince of the Realm. But you know what I mean? This is spin. Spin all day long. He's trying to save face because Virginia will not settle. Not a chance.
Yeah, it's well. So there you go. He's demanding this trial, but you're right. It's probably as you say that I concur with your logic there. That makes sense. It's a good way for him to sort of seem like, oh no, I'm pushing. I'm not trying to just settle. But you're right. Behind the scenes, either of them could just decide to do that. I mean, Virginia could to an extent too. If she feels like, something's going to go off, then at least she could do that. But it would make her look pretty bad at this point, given all that she said and how confident she's been. I think her settling would not be a good look. She's made it very clear she wants justice. She wants to see this through. So we'll see what happens there. And you're right. If she decided to change that, why wouldn't Andrew pounce on that to just get it out of the way? And see, she settled. She said she wasn't going to settle, right? It's already falling a line. So
if she settles, then it casts doubt on her allegations in the first place. Was she actually being truthful, or was she just going after money? Because she's been vocal all this time of, I'm going after him because he did this thing and I want justice the right way. And I'm doing this to make sure that everyone out there knows that all the other powerful people that did this to me, you can't hide. And I'm going to use this as a freaking example for you to be now quaking in your boots. And what better example to go for than Queen's son? Prince, royalty, like the elite. So yeah, she can't settle.
This was the other interesting thing. So I don't know enough about this to really comment much, but he's claiming it should be dismissed because she's not a resident of Colorado in the U.S. That's how the court docs were filed, but she's actually a resident of Australia. And the legal papers are saying he's disputing that she's domesticated in the state of Colorado on the basis that he denies the allegations. She is a citizen of the United States. His legal team wants to dismiss, claiming she has no right to bring a lawsuit in New York, as neither parties are residents of the U.S. This tells the court her complaint should be dismissed because the court lacks subject matter jurisdiction over the action due to Virginia's improper assertion of diversity jurisdiction. Notwithstanding, she is a permanent resident of Australia and not Colorado. Now, what's frustrating is, like, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I could actually make a point. It is odd. It's like, if she's not a resident of the United States, why did she file it in New York? What's going on? I would think and hope her lawyers are prepared and aware of that and ready to sort of combat that. But man, how frustrating would that be if the whole thing just goes away because, sorry, you don't live here and he doesn't live here, so therefore you can't do anything. You're both screwed. Have you heard this defense, Stephanie? Stefania, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, absolutely. And if I remember rightly, and forgive me if I'm wrong, V's team has already hit back at this. This argument actually is weeks old because he used this argument initially to try and avoid it going to trial in the first place. Well, one of the arguments was used. And if I remember rightly, V's team came back and said, nah, she is a domicile in Colorado because I think like her mum lives there or something. And so she does have residence there as well. It is kind of like what I remember what their response was in this. And I'm not, look, as far as I'm concerned, what I'm about to say, my opinion of Andrew, bearing in mind that I am a royalist, a real like loyal royalist. I love the Queen and the royal family. When it comes to Andrew, I'm sorry, he's scum. And he's brought the crown into disrepute. And you never should be doing that, ever. The crown is sacred, you don't do that. But he's done that into an immense scale. If it is true that she lives full-time in Australia and has no residency whatsoever in any of the United States, then unfortunately it's a technicality, but if you're going to follow the letter of the law, it should be thrown out. And she should refile her lawsuit within a country that is appropriate for it.
Now, some are saying that because the crime was in New York, that's why it's okay. So I'm this is above my. We need to ask a legal person who's studied this more. But some of the chatter suggests that. So maybe it is. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I can't imagine that her lawyers wouldn't have been prepared and filed this properly. If she didn't live in the U.S., why would they? Usually, that's a pretty big deal as to deciding where you're filing and how. So
yeah.
I hope that's the case. Hopefully, is my audio better? Sorry, some are saying sometimes I have the guests a little louder. Just let me know in the beginning of the show, and I'll adjust it. But I think I fixed it. Let me know if that fixes it. Makes me equal level to Steph. So there, yeah. I mean, there you go. There's a lot of sort of updates, and yeah, the Royals clearly want him to settle. Obviously, they just want it to go away, which is kind of shady. It's like at this point, but I see it. I see where they're going. But again, it just proves cover up. Yeah, why does it matter what he did? And then he's definitely gonna be painting her in a terrible light just to sway the jury. It'll be interesting to see if that actually works, or if the jury finds that appalling and siding more with her, similar to the Maxwell case, where I feel like the jurors revealed that. Then again, we've learned the jurors were definitely biased and hiding things to get into that pool, which is so infuriating. And we'll see if that appeal actually takes place. So hopefully there. But I still just can't get over his denial of the photo still to this day. Like, I guess he's got to lean in because he already did it. But, dude, you're caught. And what's interesting is, I got to be careful there. Jeffy had a precise plan how the only known photo of Andrew happened. And so this was an interesting article you found, Steph, as we were going through it. And so there's a whole theory there that he was sort of keeping this photo, right, Steph, to like use it and get it out in a way. He was a very calculating guy, that Jeffy, and wanted to make sure he had opportunities to protect himself, it seems. And they were very close. And so this idea that he's just, I don't know why he keeps denying the photo, but that was part of the theory is like that was all part of a plan to get it out there. What do you think as we go through this article? Do you believe this theory, Steph?
Firstly, the photo, read other reports in terms of his legal response. He's literally turning around and saying, I neither can confirm nor deny the validity of that photo. He ain't even denied it. He's literally taken the fifth. I can neither confirm nor deny the validity of that photo. It's beyond how he's trying to use that defense in the first place. In regards to the overall situation, Hefe was calculated. Hell yeah. He was a shark. Yes. Who was swimming with other sharks. And so in that kind of situation, well, what do? Well, you make sure that if you're swimming with other sharks, you protect yourself because that shark can turn on you at any point. It's in their nature. They're a shark, right? So what did he do? Well, he's got this picture and who knows what else that could implicate Andrew and other people as well, let's say. And so... yeah, I kind of feel like, in a way, even though he deserves it, because as far as I'm concerned, Andrew is scum. And I feel really, really awkward saying that because you're here and I'm not talking about you.
It's not.
But he's the same
the photo in question that we're talking about is this photo. This was one of the first ones where they caught them together walking around. And this photo was telling just because as you go through this article... the news of the world was tipped off that Andrew was in town, and it was Maxwell who why would she take him to a place where they were certain to be photographed? And so there's a theory here that was all part of the plan because they wanted to catch him in that act and send him to a place. It's a long theory article, honestly, just to get to read it all. But the theory here that, yes, there was always a plan in place for both Maxie and Jeffy to try to get these types of images to protect, to not only lift up their stock, but also protect and make them be like socialites in the right circles. You know what I mean, Steph? So Andrew got so caught up in this, and I don't understand how he could have just been such a good friend. Again, you'll hear his take in the interview, which we're going to rewatch tomorrow because it's definitely worth a rewatch. So I definitely advise you to watch it with us so we can offer some new interesting commentary, and then we can all sort of get in the page because this case is going to keep going for a while, and I'll make sure we're all updated on the latest. And I didn't get to cover the interview before, so we're going to cover it now. Final thoughts on all this Prince Andrew updates, Steph, as we wrap this segment up?
Andrew, as far as I'm concerned, is scum. I believe he is guilty. And I do hope that justice is served in regards to this article that we're talking about here. I also think that, and he deserves it, he was set up by Hefe and Maxi. Set up completely so that they had these images, so that they had this evidence against him, either to hang it over his head or do other things, use it as protection or whatever. But either way, deserved, don't get me wrong, but he was totally set up. I just wonder who else they've set up as well. That would be extremely, extremely interesting to know. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he is Prince in name, but he ain't Prince in nature. I do not consider him royalty at all. He is an absolute disgrace to the royal family, to the crown, to the nation, and unredeemable in my eyes. Unredeemable.
Unredeemable. I couldn't say it better. Look, I'm all for due process and justice, but guys, watch this interview tomorrow with us, and I think you'll feel a little bit more differently about your stake on Prince Andrew. Although it seems like nobody really is supporting or rooting for him, but we will break that down for you tomorrow on our live. So stick around. Make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to Steph the Alter Nerd. Subscribe here. Make sure you are subscribed. Can you check right now for me while you're watching? They are unsubscribing people. I get messages on Telegram and Instagram, and people telling me I got unsubbed from your channel. I don't know why. So if you can double check, leave the comment. Leave a like, help the algorithm, really would be gratefully appreciated. If you are watching live right now, don't go anywhere. If you're catching the replay, why aren't you watching us live? Well, if you can't, it's because of scheduling. Become a member today. Hit that join button. You can always catch the replays whenever you want.